cracking, everybody. We made it to another episode. Woo! Barely. Hi, John. Hey, AC. How are you guys doing?
How's it going?
Awesome.
Yeah, not too bad. It's wicked hot today. I'm like sweating to all the things. So we're sans hoodie today because I can't do it. I'm dying.
Where are you again? Where are you live?
I'm in Michigan.
Michigan. Okay, we're about the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that hot here in New York, thankfully. But, it'll hit us any day.
Yeah, it was absolutely pretty cold, pretty much the whole season so far. But there was like today, whatever reason, just gross. I don't know, but yeah. So we're swamping it. It's gross. Yeah.
I feel like the last couple summers, July's felt like 2 months in one. Yeah, it always feels like a longer, hotter of the 3 summer months. I always find that.
Yeah, I didn't mind this month though. It was pretty nice. It was like nice and cool, so I'll take that any day. That's fine with me. I don't need super gross hot. That's fine. But I'm very excited to have both of you back here because this is a very cool campaign. I know we talked about it a little bit the last time that you guys were here, but listen, I'm huge a slasher horror fan. So let's go. We're gonna get some fun times. But here, let's do this real quick because we're still kind of starting. We're still kind of like getting people straggling on in here. So. There's me. Yes, take it all in. I know. Fabulous. Let's go. And boom. Let's do some introductions. There's AC. How are you doing? Hi.
Glad to be here again. It's always I always find like my best podcast appearance is always the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th range. The first couple, you gotta get used to. I had a lot of fun with the last one. Very excited to talk that head.
Yes.
It's been just a. I feel like a surprise is insulting, but like it has just been a whirlwind of a book. I've been very very happy with it. It's been great. It's also been my first. Like my last few releases have been alongside my writing partner Medina Elwell. And that is actually my first return to like solo writer, artist, just creating a brand new universe, character. I didn't really think about that at the time when I was working on it because I'm you're constantly working on endless amount of things, but like and it's whoever gets out first and like Deadhead has just like sort of steamrolled and just fallen into place really well, and it's been a lot of fun. Definitely a return to form, I hope.
Yeah, you guys been kicking butt this year. You guys have a bunch of projects coming out. I know you guys have even more coming up soon, but man, it's fun to sing all of that.
I don't know how we're doing it. Don't ask. It's not done yet.
Surviving.
Well, no. When the fat lady.
No, you guys are kind of just getting started, which I like seeing. So very excited for all the universes you guys are kind of coming up here. And I just saw before we jumped on here, some of the preview art that you have coming up from one of the other books. I saw that today.
Oh very exciting. I'm just gonna keep them coming. AC and I were just talking about this the other day, and a little preview of somebody else we're going to talk about, Peter, who's a sculptor in the action figures. I don't know how action figures came involved. I don't even know if I have a story for that. It just happened, Katie. It just happened. But anyway, that guy Peter, I was telling you, just like AC, this has really been the rebirth of Iron Age this year. Iron Age Comics was me for years. 27, nugging away. And I met AC and Mina years ago, but we have been kicking around, working together, joking around about publishing. And really, I had really wanted to do it. And AC was really integral in pushing me towards, hey, if we bring you stuff, you're a publisher, you can make this happen. And built a slate, and Deadhead was early on in that. And easily one of my favorite that I was looking forward to because it's just a killer book, no pun intended.
Oh, it's fun, and I really think the action figure looks amazing. Shout out to the artist, whoever did that. It looks so good. Very much looking forward to all this. But I want to go say hey to a couple of people that we have in chat. As always, right here, I have your campaign pinned to the top, and I will be pasting it throughout the show so that it can go to all the other platforms that we're on. This has been, one of my favorite people popping in the chat lately, and I love that you bring Dragon Ball knowledge to the chat every single time you come in here, which I think is fantastic. Let's see. We got Shelby in the house. It's 106. Yes, I know. You live in an awful area where you have 100+ degree weather all the time, and that sounds gross. Do not like it. Yeah, Arizona. Whew, rough times. What's up, Ken? How are you doing? Then we got Cran in the house. What is up, Cran? How are you doing? Yes, and have way more people popping in here, which I love to see all that. But what I want to do is get to your campaign page, because I know you have to get out for class pretty soon. So I want to get there as fast as possible so we can go over here. Let me see. Where are we at? There we go. There we go. Boom. There we go. Hold on. Good. Just get all my stuff set up, and then we can go to your page here. Oh, no. There we go. Boom. There we go. Listen, we are super pro sauce here. We did it. Oh, what's up, Figure Drawing? How are you doing? Yes. Sometimes it's, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, I've seen the weather that you guys had over there. It is just yikes, let me tell you. I don't know how you guys do it. Rough times. Here's your campaign page. First of all, this is amazing. I love that you guys, first of all, are over 5 grand. So you got some backers since before we popped backstage. So that's awesome. You're almost at 100 backers. So, woo. That's exciting. I love seeing that. Let's go. Let's go. And yeah, if you want to back it, you got to do it by Tuesday, June 24th at 10 p.m. Eastern time. That's like way exciting. You're going to crush the 100 backers, definitely, for sure. I know I will be sharing this around all over the place. Yeah, very exciting. And Cran, yes, it looks very cool. Not going to lie. So I'll play the trailer in a little bit because I have to set up weird things for that. So let me get down here, just open up some of the art here, and then I will ask you guys. Let's talk about the book for a little bit. What is Deadhead all about?
So Deadhead is a love letter to slashers through the art form of comics. It is a comics first and foremost. I can't write any other way. Like I always write for comics only. Even if I'm taking from other like my media that I respect and love, like video games and movies, always when I write a comic, it is for comics only. And Deadhead takes a look at the slasher genre and sort of like gives agency back to the real stars of slashers, in my opinion, which are the slashers themselves. Like sure we have Laurie Strode and Ripley as some cool survival heroes, but really everyone just cares about the slasher. And I really wanted to get in their heads, no pun intended there, but I really wanted us to feel like we're in the shoes of these of slashers. And in Deadhead, Deadhead is your traditional slasher villain in that he doesn't talk, he just kills. Everyone else does, and you're looking at these usually iconic slasher archetypes in very different ways. None other than Mahler Mason, especially. Mahler Mason, we really get his introspection as like he'd rather do anything but be a slasher, but it's what he's meant to do, is what he's forced to do. And that's sort of like fun little take of like, what if Jason Voorhees just didn't like his job? That sort of humanization is an idea we've taken and really stretched to the limits of like 11 out of 10 for everything. My favorite slashers are always the most crazy, over the top decision is what happens.
Yes.
Like I also think it's a combination of two very similar worlds, but different in their own way, which is 90s comics and like 80s slashers. They're both genres, if you will, that have been squeezed out in very different ways. They've been abused, they've been misused, but ultimately I think like they rest now in a place where we all love them. And I wanted to combine the two, and funny enough, I think that's why Destiny brought the action figure to life, right? Because like those two worlds always produce great action figures, and I feel like everything is called to place with them. So it truly is a love letter to slashers through the eyes of comics.
Oh, I love it. I'm very much a huge fan of all these things. First of all, I love that you named him Mahler Mason. That is an awesome name. That like just screams slasher. That's perfect. That's amazing.
Yeah, alliteration. I've always had that, but also like he seems to be a fan favorite. There's sort of like a lot of people have told me they want Mahler Mason plushies, which I would have never thought that combination, but I mean it kind of does work to his character, so he's a lot of fun. We really enjoy it.
I think there's something to the fact that Mauler Mason is a cuddly, lovable, huggable slasher. That's what he looks like.
He looks so cuddly. He looks like you just want to, look at. He's got a smiley face mask on. He's so cute. You just want to wrap your arms around him. He would give the best bear hugs. It's adorable.
You just
look at
hug and it just not ever ends.
Never.
He's got to get past the human entrails on his shoulder.
Hey, it comes with accessories.
No, yeah. Honestly, I think, not to give away too much of the story, but I feel like when you come away reading it, that idea is just gonna get like, John, you can speak for me here. I feel like it's just gonna get accelerated more, which it wasn't intentional, but it really just happens because I feel, not to show my hand too much here, but I feel like Mason is you can root for him once we get to know him a little bit. But I think Deadhead himself just like really represents standing up for something. I won't give away too much why, though I will say that reason will be a big part of, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, of the next Deadhead Kickstarter when we're talking about it. Believe me, but there is a sort of standing up and finally taking action. It's why we've used a lot of Rage Against the Machine as our, like, when we're advertising, because there is a rebellious nature to Deadhead, the character himself, that I think sort of acts as his voice.
Yeah, we sort of buried the lead on this. We didn't even explain that Deadhead he's a slasher that doesn't kill in the victim. He kills other slashers. Deadhead is the slasher.
He kills other slashers. Ooh, okay. So he's battling right now. This is like the fight scene that we're getting right here, where he's coming in here trying to find more slashers. Oh, dude,
exactly.
Yeah, he kills other
dude, their designs are awesome.
Yeah, Gabriel is. I should really, we should really talk about Gabriel, because I think him and Barlow, they're the breakouts of the book. They're just what a team. I've been very, very fortunate my whole career to work with just the greatest talents, but and to still find new guys and feel like they have improved my own work just working through them, because something I really appreciated is the excitement Gabriel and Barlow have brought to this book. Barlow being our colorist. We've been developing it as a trio since the jump, and it's just like there's never been any. It's weird, knock on wood, but there's never been any disagreements. There's never been. We really just had a synergy that it's just it's been a very addicting excitement. One I definitely needed. I'm going into my 10th year of being lucky enough to do this. And sometimes you kind of just need that reminder of just raw excitement. And Gabriel's definitely brought that. I think his designs show that. Today we just approved some more designs that I just can't wait for you guys to see.
Ooh.
And because even though we've only shown in our campaign, we only have 3 characters. Deadhead is an ensemble character piece, and there's a lot of people. There's a lot of characters in our books, and I would say the 3 central main characters that you're following are the ones we show, which are Deadhead, Mauler Mason, and Clerk, who is maybe my favorite character, but that's for another whole conversation.
Yeah, the characters that AC is referencing are not tangential. They are the other slashers in this universe. They are. I mean, we like to as a side note, refer to Deadhead as the John Wick of slashers. He's, instead of an assassin going after the Assassin's Guild, he's the slasher going after every other slasher to take them all down.
Oh, that's fun. I like that. I like that little twist that you've got going there, because I like it that it introduces kind of more slashers that you can go, because you can kind of be doing this very different other stories too for this in this world, just based on that alone. So I think that's awesome.
And the level of excitement that the artists show, Gabriel, the artist, and Barlow Moreira, the colorist, they get so excited when they read AC's pages. And he's already fleshed out the first 2 books, and when they got them, they just blew their minds. So that excitement comes through. Every artist that we got for these covers like that's cover C by Kevin Shaw, aka Color Reader. Amazing, right? I think it's one of his best pieces of work, and he's a great artist. He's worked with AC in the past. This looks incredible to me, and it shows off. It shows off a little bit of the sexy arms that it has too.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh, they got some good arms. I like the choice of weapons that they have, but I'm really digging the character design that I've seen from so far. Just the 2 characters. I can't wait to see what the other ones look like as we're going down here. But I want to ask Shelby had a question. I want to ask AC real quick. He wants to know: have you ever watched Chompy and the Girls or The Greasy Strangler? I know that's one of his favorite movies.
Oh, I have Greasy Strangler rings a lot of bells. I will add this next one to my list though. Anyone, please, all suggestions. I never say no. And it's very possible. I'm very guilty of watching a movie up to 45 minutes and then like coming back to it or rewatching it and be like, get to the 30-minute point. I'm like, oh, I remember this, and I'll still finish it out. I constantly like watching just clips. And I'm like, it's so for sure. Any Rex send them my way. Not
this is very cool.
Not slashers only or horror.
Oh yeah, huge into a bunch of those kind of movies, and I don't think I have seen The Greasy Strangler, but that's gonna be on my list because I know Shelby talks about it all the time. This figure is really cool. I like that you've incorporated this in here, and I think they did such a great job on the design of the figure. And first of all, the card and everything looks really awesome.
Yeah, I had a great time putting together the package. So me as the non-artist, I'm also a comics writer and obviously a publisher. Where I get a kick out of is bringing some graphic design because I don't get to actually draw the characters. I'm not that great of an artist, and I had so much fun making the package here. But really, the star of the show for the toy is definitely Peter Keane. He's got so many credits. We can go to his credits and look at the list, but the list is so long you'd fall asleep. I mean, he's worked for WWE, DC Comics, Robot Chicken. It just goes on. He's
done all kinds of things. These look the
awesome.
detailing that he does on the figures is so good.
Yeah, he's really, really great, and he's done stop motion animation with characters that he's created for TV commercials, stuff like that. So don't ask me how he got on board. It was literally one of those serendipitous friends of a friend. Do you think you can do this? And in his schedule, it just so worked out, and he just pumped out a Deadhead figure like in time. And so cool. The other thing is, besides sculpting and fabricating and painting, he understands the entire process because he got his start in stop motion animation by designing figures for a big toy company. So he understands the whole process, and he's helping us going from sculpt all the way to production, casts, molds, everything. And the best thing about him is being an old school toy collector and collecting toys now. There is definitely a difference with the 3D models that are created out there and a lot of the pieces that get 3D printed. This is 100% old school, traditional hand sculpt, hand painted final figure to the customer.
That's really
cool. It shows in the price. I wish we could bring the price point down, but we are a burgeoning toy company. This is the first time we bring toys into comics, and there's a lot of overhead costs, and we did everything we can. The price of $150 sounds crazy for a 5.5-inch figure. However, that's cost. That's actual cost. And we're not taking any profit off of that. We just want this figure in people's hands, and we want to be able to say, this was a success. Let's make more action figures. Now that we've paid a lot of the overhead down, we can bring the price down a little bit and keep doing that release after release until it's more affordable in general to the customer. And in the meantime, those who bought in this original print run is going to be really low. It's going to be super rare. And we are confident that Deadhead is going to be a very popular character. So we're excited to see what people are going to do to pick this up. The other thing that we added, and since I have the mic here, I have. Can I just have the screen real quick?
Wait.
I have the prototype here. I have the prototype right here. It's got a lot of shines.
Ooh.
And the other one you saw is a placeholder. This is the actual comic that's going to be included in it.
Oh, nice.
Now, this
I like
version,
that you're going.
can you see the shine on it?
Oh, you got like spot foil.
It's got spot foil, and this is a holofoil reflective blade.
Oh,
and it
sweet.
goes around to the other side to the back of the book. It's a double-sided cover. The only way to get that is with the action figure. We wanted to give some more value since we were charging so much that we're throwing in.
Yeah.
You only get it in that package. And that kind of exciting to us as collectors. Me and AC are collectors too. We love this. Look at his shelf right there. Look at the shelf.
I can truly say, John, everything John does, as far as Iron Age, is from the love of the game. You know, I like one thing I've learned working with John has been the way to like look at comics, call them a product, but not have no taint on like stain on that word. It's the fun side of it. You know what I mean? And like that's really opened my eyes because like I am a creator-owned first writer, and I doubt that'll ever change. You know, my mind just works creator-owned, and like I'm always saying, there's got to be more, and we've got to do more. You know, and John has really emphasized that. And one thing I can't commend enough is that, as far as like the figure goes, I as a creator, there's been so many logistics. I'm talking just like page upon page of Discord chat of like just a lot of like numbers and measurements. And me as a writer, I've just been like, this is so cool, jaw open, you know. But John really has been like in the trenches, and I think that's gonna speak for the quality. You know, he's already proven it. You know, I've been fortunate to work on a couple titles of Iron Age, and like it's all been just like a high quality. And I think Deadhead has been a culmination of all that. You know. It's one of the first things John told me when he asked me to come up with like ideas. It was character. You know, that's like John stresses that word. I feel like if there was like a locker room for Iron Age, instead of like believe on the door, it'd be like character, because that's just like where John's head's at for everything. And like I know it sounds like a joke, but like I actually, you know, it resonated a lot with writing it because Deadhead did start off as, you know, I want to create a character, and it felt so cool because I was like, man, this is like, you know, this sounds corny, but you know, you're always as a creator, at least for me, you're like, oh, is this like how the Image guys felt that night before they're like start, you know, creating their own characters, their own worlds, and I try to never lose that feeling when it comes to creator owned, and Deadhead just shined. You know, it was like when you know it's corny to say, but when you think of like, you know, like documentaries and talking about, and you're seeing like character designs. There is like that. We lived that montage of like, we're like, oh my god, it was it. Like that had a couple color like color version, but we all knew it was the black and orange and white one. You know, not like there wasn't like, there's no like, oh, this was almost that. Like no, it's all been like, yeah, that one's it. It like
very cool.
You know, so. Absolutely.
And I like that you're showing this size comparison with Tila. Let me tell you, huge fan of the Masters of the Universe. Let me tell you.
Yeah, and
I like the size comparison.
That's what AC was talking about in terms of sizes. Like, I knew unequivocally this was Masters of the Universe scale figure. Like, that's where he fits. Could have gone G.I. Joe size, 3.75 inch. We could have gone the current fashionable 6-inch figure. But no, it had to be the 5.5.
I think that's a good size. I think that's a good fit. Plus, I like the way that the packaging works, that you have the comic in the back, because I'm a huge fan of figures with comics. I've been picking them up since like the 80s and 90s. I've got all of them galore upstairs. But
I'm glad you said that because as a collector, it always bothered me that you had to tear open the box and destroy it.
Yes.
I have selected the type of clamshell that you can just open and take the comic book out. And then put it back in.
And then the packaging is so good that you can keep continuing to display the package if you don't want to take the figure out of there. So yes, figures with comics. Let's go. That's right, Michael. Very huge fan of this. I love the designs on this, and what I love too is up here what Peter says. There's no 3D printing. Each one of your figures is hand sculpted. That's amazing. That's really cool that you have that ability for that. Yeah, you could tell too, just like the way it's made. It looks really sturdy figure. So I am a huge fan of figures. I'm a huge fan of comics. Huge fan of all of this. And here you go with your cover gallery right here. And I love some of the artists that you have on here. Schmolky, gotta love Schmolky. Yeah. I love giving him crap every single time I see him.
He's awesome. A good dude.
Yes. There's some really cool covers in here. And this is the one they were showing a minute ago that comes with the back on the figure. This one right here.
Yep.
With the foil, the wraparound foil. I like that you put that with the scythe and everything. That's awesome.
I think, you know, comic historians will probably easily point out a little bit of an homage in this cover.
Just a tiny bit.
You know, just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit, but it looks good. They did their own thing with it, but I love the hollow foil shiny on that. That's awesome.
And I am gonna give something away because I didn't put it for this campaign because I want, you know, when you do second issue campaigns or just a second issue release, even in retail, it's harder to get an issue 2. So we're gonna incorporate issue 1 and make some upgrades to issue 1. And one of the upgrades to look forward to is that that blade is going to be on an acetate cover, so you can open the blade and see him deadhead without the blade, and then cover it up. And we're going to do a sketch version of just the blade, so you can have him fighting any slasher you want him to fight. Freddy Krueger if you want it, Jason Voorhees if you want it. Take it to a convention and have your favorite artist fill it in, and then you have deadhead version on the blade.
That's really cool. I really like. Out of all the campaigns that you've done, I liked all the interesting things that you brought to the campaign. Haunted Box. That's still probably to this day one of my favorite boxes that I have. It's just the way that the slip cover goes in there, and then you have the cutout and everything. That thing is just so cool. Love it. I like that you guys kind of bring something extra to your campaigns that nobody else is really doing, and I think that's fun.
That's the idea. That's what's to set Iron Age apart. Not only the strict focus on character first, but also what else can we tie in that is fun for collectors that matter. You know, pins are awesome, things that you can throw in. I'm not dogging the bookmarks. What more can we do? I want to have fun with it, so that's what we do. That's Iron Age.
Comics, you know, I try not to bring usual debates or topics and stuff, but comics constantly is like begging for approval for the world of streaming, you know, movies, and I never understand why that same excitement can't just be applied to like the same level of excitement John puts to like a foil cover. You know what I mean? I'm a guy where like most of my comics I wrap them up, throw them, and give them to my buddies, take them to the shower with me. You know what I mean? Even as a little kid, like I always had them with me. You know what I mean? And like, so I've never been a guy that's been that kind of collector. Like, the only mint protected collection I have is all of Invincible single issues. But like, I love just being surrounded by comics, treated not as I'm sure in a ways that'll make John flinch, but I appreciate the creator, the fact that John really does have that love, you know, and he looks at everything that you can do in comics as a cool way. It's not just like. We're not just, you know, John's never even mentioned, like, oh, yeah, we're going to try and get, you know, some media attention here. No, John's like, dude, how cool would it be to do this? Oh, man, let's do that. I would always like that. It's that energy, you know, for me, there's a purity to it that has made working on Deadhead a lot of fun, you know. Like I said, 10 years on, there's more things you look for than just like a fair rate and a good deal, which John has provided. But you know, you look for more. Like every comic takes a long time. Doesn't matter how short it feels, and there's an investment in it. And already, everything we've invested into that has felt worth it. And I feel like the response shows it. You know, I think people have been as excited as we are for it, and I think all the cool stuff that comes with it is great. And, you know, we're really, really lucky.
I love this. I love this Ryan cover since you brought it up. This is
so good.
deadhead sitting on a throne of Easter eggs. If you zoom in and you start to think a little bit, right, you start to recognize some of these characters. And then just to make it clear, he wrote A Psycho for American Psycho.
Yeah, I saw that. It was one of the first things that popped out to me on that guy's forehead, but that's amazing. Oh, there's some cool stuff in here. I also like that it's foreshadowing some of the stuff, maybe some past issues, prequel stuff. But I like all the different characters that you have up here. Very much looking forward to see what's happening with these guys or how they even ended up on the wall over there, which is quite cool. Always got Memento Mori on the scythe too. That's awesome.
And this is available. The original art for this is available still, and it's at a steal for his inks. For his lines, it's at a steal. For
Ryan G. Brown, yeah, let's go. Phil, I like this. This is very good. Since you brought up reading comics in the shower, Phil wants to know: is there going to be a laminated edition so that you can read your comics in the shower?
I don't know. This is pretty. This is pretty shiny. Check it out.
That is pretty shiny. That is pretty. Hold on, let me click that over there. That is pretty. That is way shiny. Holy moly, that is shiny. That might.
I would say the interior is that shiny. So you won't be able to open it in the shower. You can hold it. But if you open it, you're done.
That's funny. Phil, that's a challenge for you. Buy that comic and test it out in the shower and then show us the after what happened in the shower, if it survived or not. I want to know. Let's do that. Let's do that challenge. That's fun. These are really cool. And here's Schmalky's cover. You know, you guys don't know Schmalky. Awesome.
His original inks are available too.
His inks are available too? I love Schmalky's art. I love all the stories that he's been on. He's done some really cool things in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I'm super big fan of 7 Years in Dark.
Oh, yes. He did a lot of good books. What was it? Murder Hobo?
Yeah, he's still got Murder Hobo. He's got another Murder Hobo launching in July.
Yeah, I love his stuff. He's got a really interesting art style that really gives that creepy thing that he's got going on, but I love the fact that he was in a bunch of the Black Caravan stuff back in the day. He did some cool stuff happening on there. And here's that one cover that you said is wraparound with the holofoil. You said all the shebang. And I love that you're doing a sketch cover with that, just in the site, so that people can go ahead and get people to remark that or draw on it. That's awesome. Yeah. That is really cool. That is really neat. I love that. I think that's a super cool idea. Here's more of the mock-ups of the characters there. I love the outfit. I love those, dude. Those are some boot kicking shoes there. Boot stomping boots. I love this guy. That guy's awesome. And then here's Clerk, is what you were talking about, but I haven't seen him yet. So I'm like, who is Clerk? I like Clerk.
Clerk is all of us in a way. Clerk represents the hardcore fans of slashers, of horrors, of everything, but both the good and the bad. You know, I have found that sometimes when someone tells you they're a hardcore fan of something, you know, it might be a green flag, it might be a red flag. You know, you gotta ask a few more questions. And Clerk sort of represents that.
First of all, sweet hair. I like that he's just rocking the OG 3D glasses. Yeah. But my favorite part about Clerk is his most bitchin' pointy fingernails, which I'm a huge fan of. You got to have that. That's amazing. Way to go, Clerk.
Doesn't it look like it's Mark marinating the devil?
I will say again, like all designs, Gabriel just brings an energy, an attitude, a character, and it's just a brilliance, you know. And Clerk is fascinating because he's hunting down Deadhead. Deadhead is essentially ruining Clerk's life, but in a way, he's also reigniting it. You know, and it's this conflict. Not only is it the central conflict of our story, but it's the conflict of Clerk, where he can't help but enjoy what Deadhead is doing, even if it's causing everything he's worked for to collapse. That's a very exciting sort of cat and mouse, you know.
I like that. Let's see. I'm gonna go over. Let's see what else is down here because I think these are all the rewards tiers. Because I want to go over the rewards tiers and we can go back and look at some other things. Let me go back up here real quick. All right. Let's see. Boop boop boop. If you just want to make a pledge, you can go so starting at $1. You don't get a reward, but you know every dollar goes to helping fund more books here. This to me is amazing. I love that you have this on here. This is your featured reward. You get the exclusive double cover that's boxed with the 5.5-inch figure for $155. I think that is very interesting because you're only having 90 of those and a couple people have picked those up. But I think this is such a cool idea, especially since they're not 3D printed. These are all hand sculpted. So that I think for $155 is actually pretty amazing price point on there.
It comes with 3 additional covers, so you have more value.
Okay. Let's see. So yeah, okay, I see that down there. So you do get the extra covers in there, plus you're getting this one right here. Let me see if I can just open this one image here, which is the hollow foil, that one that you were showing off for the back of the cover.
Yeah.
And I love that extends. That's really cool. I love that. That is awesome. So I think that is such a cool deal for the figure. Plus you're also getting PDFs as well. Very cool. I think that reward is really nice. And I think this figure looks really good. Let me see if I can find this real quick. The figures look so good. This is what it looks like next to a Masters of the Universe figure, so you just get scale. But the figure is so well sculpted. He did such a good job on that.
Yeah, he's a good send. And when you see the detail up close, like you see, I know the pictures look a little washed. I was trying to get shadows so you can see the sculpt, right? And it's just whether you see it, it's very tactile.
I think my favorite part of this is the jacket. Just like the way that those bones sit on the jacket, the way that that's sculpted, that actually looks like that OG like leather, like what do you call those? Like those high school sports jackets. The Letterman jacket. Yeah, that looks, just from the fabric alone, material that he used, it looks literally like that. It's amazing. What's up, Christina? How you doing? Welcome on in. Yes, thank you. Yes, the link to this is in chat. Oh, here, I'll drop it one more time so that the people on the Twitchies can go there. But yeah, that's the campaign right there. Go ahead and click it. And
8 backers away from 100.
That's right. You guys are so close to getting 100 backers on this, and you already hit over the 5K mark, which is amazing because I think it's pretty fantastic what you got going on here. Let me see. Go back here. And let's see. If you want. What's that?
If anybody wants to get us to 100 right now, please do.
I mean, go for it. Yeah, this is fantastic. Let's go. Let's get you some more backers. Let's see. If you just want the PDF for $7, that's awesome. How many pages is the story? I don't think I asked that yet.
44.
44? Oh, that's a decent sized story. I like that. So yeah, get you some hot action here. If you want cover A for $15, ships anywhere in the world. I'm just going to click this just to see what your price points are. $5 to United States, $20 elsewhere. Dude, that's a great price for shipping. Shipping, as we know, is stupid bananas, but that is an excellent cover. This is your cover A right here, which I think is fun. I like the use of colors that are here. And I also love that just chopped up parts are just all over the place. Like, ouch, yikes.
Yeah, I love the cover. When he showed us options, I'm like, that is a cover one. That is no doubt. You look at that. That is a first issue cover.
Yes. I love the colors.
Oh yeah.
The colors are so good. They just pop. But it also gives me that like kind of cartoony violence kind of thing where you really want this like a really good animated kind of thing. And you could kind of see that just based on like the colors and stuff that you have on here. Fantastic. And here is your secondary cover. The colors in this, dude, are so popping. The pinks and the greens, the super neons. Ooh, it's gnarly.
This was the first cover.
Really gnarly.
This is how we knew we had something special. I put that on Instagram without an ad or anything, and it just racked up the likes and views so much faster, and it really projected my Instagram by itself. Just that image right there.
Let me see where that image goes.
I really think the color pop of the pink against the black.
So good. Yeah. It really makes things pop. I like how gnarly it is too. They're just impaled things all over the place, which is fantastic. That was your cover B, so that's $16 there. You just have some really cool covers that I just think are fun. And I love the artists that you have on here. Yes, right? It would be a perfect animated show. And I just want to say it is 6:45 if you have to bounce for your class.
I do. Thank you for reminding me.
Yes.
Great talking to
No
everybody. Hit me up on Instagram if you have any questions. AC, you got this, brother. Great talking to
Woo,
you, Katie.
yes.
And,
yes, we'll see you again soon. Have fun in your class. We're going to keep this going. We'll hopefully get you more backers. Bye. See you later, John. All right. John had a bounce, but we're going to keep going over here because I think these are awesome. And yeah, Michael, you're not wrong. I think it's absolutely perfect when we amazing for an animated series. I think it just fits that well.
Fingers crossed.
It fits perfectly. Yeah.
It's
You're hot. I'm going to boost you.
We're very, very happy with everything. It's been like really exciting. You know, we had there's so many different influences that have gone into it. You know, we have there's an energy that like I said, I keep repeating it, but it is just palpable. You know, you feel it when you read it. I'm a big believer, and I just there for me there is no better medium than comics. I've been fortunate. My book is you know, in development for an animated TV series at TBS. And that's been very exciting, very eye opening. It's been great for my career, but coming back to working on a new idea in the world of comics just really is so exciting for me. And there's just nothing better. You know, I've been fortunate to have stuff make it in other realms, but I'll always choose comics first. And and a story like that, and even if it's about slashers, I feel it works in comics.
That's the best part. What are you talking about? The slasher part is my favorite. Let's see here. Yes, this is your cover C right here. It's because you have 6 covers altogether, I believe. Cover C here. And I love that.
There's a few that are in the chamber and got pushed for Kickstarter for the next Kickstarter.
Okay. All right.
Which will feature the next chapter. I can't confirm that. But we decided to cut it at 6. I've been fortunate enough to work with Kit Wallace on Halicious, which is our series that I just spoke about as being developed for an animated series at TBS. And Kevin Shaw and I, we both got our starts together for Elasticade, which was our first book. It came out back in 2016, which feels so much longer than it is, but it's also equally long amount of time.
Yeah.
And so it was really exciting to get 2 former collaborators, current collaborators still, but you know, in our new world, which everyone's been equally excited, very receptive. You know, I always stress I've been fortunate to work with some of the greatest talent on the planet, and everyone, you know, I can tell, knowing my friends, you know, they're all very professional, but I can tell when they're a little bit more excited to draw something than they are something else. Like, everyone has had that, like, oh hell yeah reaction with that.
Yes.
You know, so that's always been very fun. Everyone's been very excited for it, so it's been a blast, you know. And
I think it's cool. It's very cool. I am digging all of this. Let me see. And then this cover here, which is your cover D, which is the Brian G. Brown cover. It is so gnarly. I just like the super Easter eggs that are in this. The little hints to like everything. And you're just looking at this, you're like, I really want to find out what this backstory is all about. And like, that's what I see when I see this. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Or is that right here? So good. So good.
I do like it because there is a hierarchy of slashers in this world.
Yeah.
And has just basically represents exactly what this image shows. Which is Deadhead is building his own throne on top of a mountain of corpses, of slasher corpses. Which I think is very much a representative of our story.
Yes. And if you really look in here, you can kind of see some homages to some actual like horror icons that are in here, which I think is absolutely awesome. Like right here. There's some good stuff in here. Some good quality things. And I like Ryan G. Brown's work. He does some very awesome work.
And we have this original cover available for a great price.
Oh, nice.
So I do, I believe it's one of our bottom last tiers there.
Yeah.
But if anyone, it's a great grab. So by all means.
And here is a Schmalky's cover. You would notice his covers too. I believe we don't kill spiders, a bunch of other stuff, but he's been really killing it over the last couple years on some horror books and very cool stuff. I like his use of coloring too. It's a lot of solid blacks and these interesting, like, cool colors that he's got going on. He's got some good stuff happening. Very cool.
We've we're very proud of everyone that's worked on this book, and we're very proud of our preview pages. But I can definitely say that the pages that we're cooking up in development for the actual book have just blown away everything. How proud and excited we were here on this. Then I really wanted to. I keep saying this word, and I know it like I should find all the words for it, but the energy is it's there from page 1 all the way to page 44, and I just think we're gonna really blow some people away. Heads will for sure. That's for sure.
Let's see. I want to shout out Brian. If you don't know Brian, go follow him. He also has some really good books too, but he also hosts a horror show that we kind of watch along and talk about horror movies as well. So what's up, Brian? I have a feeling you would really enjoy this book, Brian. It's very cool. As we're going over the different rewards, you want to talk about what Deadhead, just a little bit about Deadhead a little bit more? What's actually going on, a little bit more about the story.
After what felt like a lifetime of being a victim, Deadhead decided to slash back and never stopped. He set his target on Mahler Mason, the most legendary and deadliest slasher of all, despite absolutely resenting the title or the job. And what happens is as Deadhead just starts collecting different slashers, killing them and hunting down Mahler, we see this entire world come into collision. And it's a thrill ride from the start to end. And there's a lot of twists and turns that I've been told I can't share by the man who left. But what I can share is Deadhead is as much when we've been compared a lot to John Wick, and that's an honor. But I would say instead of thinking just a one man killing machine, it's actually the world building. There is Deadhead is some of the most fun world building I've ever had, experience I've ever had, and it's been working with treating slashers almost like myths, and that's fun. We have one of my personal favorite characters who I unfortunately can't show today, but his name is Mr. Nightster. I think he represents everything we wanted to get done with Deadhead, and that's again just building a world, maybe of others' dreams, most people's nightmares, but it's taking your classic slashers and thinking of them as mythological mysteries, almost like your heroes of your classic '90s comics. That's another bit
I like that.
but definitely has that energy to it. So I would say if I had to put a pin on it, Deadhead is a love letter to slashers through the eyes of comics and nothing else.
Yeah. And you got this really cool figure here. This is actually the packaging that you have for the figure here. The figure looks amazing. I like that those were hollow stickers that you had on there because it matches the back. In the back here is where your comic will be with the figure. And the comic is the wraparound one with the foil on it, which looks absolutely fantastic. So you have this here. It's kind of modeled size-wise by the Masters of the Universe figures. Hand sculpted, by the way. It's not 3D printed. This looks absolutely just amazing. I love it. Here's next to Tilo there, just for size comparison. Yeah.
That's awesome.
All your covers here. This is the one they're going to get in the back of the book as well. It's the hollow foil one as well. It's wraparound hollow foil. It looks really good. Really cool stuff. And here's the covers one more time. This is cover 1. You got cover 2 here. I just love these colors. Look fantastic on every one of them. They look really good. art plus coloring. This one here, Ryan G. Brown. I love that you got a little Kruger action there, little pinhead action there. You got some stuff happening back here. It's very cool things. I want to know each and every one of these killers back there because that's my kind of thing to comics. I love that kind of like backstory that you see.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. Huge fan. Once again, this is the one that you'll get here for the comic, which you also pick up as well as the super hollow foil one as well. And I love that you're going to do this as a sketch cover with the blade out so that people can just draw in a different color if they want it in there, which I think is such a cool detail. You can take that to anybody up there. Right? You absolutely love this. Me too, Brian. I love this story too. I love that it's a serial killer going after serial killers. Which is fantastic, and I think that's really cool. And I love the art style. I love the colors. I love that it comes with a toy. I think that's just really, really neat. And we're going over the tiers right now. So right now you have this one here, which is Dead Both Ways. Get both versions of issue 1, the physical and the digital copy here. You can get that in there. Very cool. I love that you have that in there. And if you want this one right here, this is this one. This is $20. This is the one I was talking about. You see the kind of the rainbow effect there where you got that super foil on there? Pause, reflect, and die hollow foil cover. I love that. That's what you're calling it. That's awesome. That looks really good. I love that. So that's
that has all that presentation. It keeps you.
Yeah.
Gotta keep your sides clean.
Yeah.
We talked about it last time, Katie, and I'm surprised you or your chat hasn't called us on it because I wouldn't. Not an homage, but it wasn't in the suggestion pool. But Deadhead Scythes, I was just as you can see, I'm a big gamer.
Yes, we talked about that last time. Yeah.
I love the God of War series, but at no point had I brought it up, and it wasn't until I honestly at the beginning of once we started talking about the toy design. That it just clicked and I was like, oh my god, it worked like a little I was fantasizing about how Deadhead would work in a fighting game. There's so many fighting games being announced.
Oh, it's got good fighting games or like good side scrolly.
Yeah, and one of my dream fighting games that I wish could happen is the slasher fighting game. I would love I think NetherRealm Studios, they got kind of close with one Mortal Kombat that had everyone in it. That's what really opened my eyes. So I'm like, man, if all these movie studios can just get together, throw every single slasher, and it's like some Mortal Kombat fighting game, it'd be amazing. And I started thinking of Deadhead's moveset, and that this could go down a very nerdy tangent. All that to say is, it's his weapons are characters in themselves. I'm glad that you noticed the carvings into them. Because Deadhead, I'm personally very proud of Deadhead's origin story, and I can't wait to see how folks react to it, as it's one that I think it asks a question people have been asking for a long time, and I'm excited to hear how folks react to it. Also, thanks everyone who backed us tonight, checked out, and please share. Shares count, I'm not going to say just as much as backs, but they're definitely the next best thing.
Very true. Because you never know. You never know. Somebody could be very much looking for something like this, and then you share it, and they go, "That's the one. That's where I got to back it." And you have some really cool tiers too, which are quite cool. This one here, if you want to get all 6 covers here for $85, you're actually saving some money on it. It does not include the hollow foil wraparound, but you do get the actual regular issue. It looks like of it, not hollow foiled on there.
Now, as I can always speak for myself, while my I believe some of the add-ons are my signatures. If you ever find me at a convention, I have a personal rule that I never charge for signatures. So I'll happily, if I'm at a show, I'm going to be at a lot of shows next year. Especially next year. This year has been more of a sort of stay at home, create the books that are coming out next year. Because along with Deadhead, I also have Avatar 6 that I was promoting on a month ago. And I also have 2 YA graphic novels coming out in
That's right.
the next year. So please, look for me everywhere. And thanks again.
Yeah, you guys have been kicking all kinds of butt on this. It's been fantastic. And once again, here's the original artwork too. So if you want the Ryan G. Brown artwork on here, which is this cover right here, you can go ahead and get the inks on that one, which is the cover. Let me see if I can just open this. We can just look at this real quick. Very cool. That is awesome. I love that you can see even more details. So it doesn't have the trade on there, so you can see all this bits happening up here. That is a cool piece of art.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. That is very cool. Oh, wait.
Deadhead as a silent protagonist, but protagonist is a fun word because he really is the slasher of this slasher story. But I say all that because he's still very expressive and a very emotive character, and I think Ryan just gives him the attitude that
so good. So this is very cool. So you can get your for $500. You can get the original cover art, which I believe is 11 by 17. Looks amazing. You also get the copy of the cover of the book. I mean, you guys will get a physical copy of the book as well. So that's actually a pretty cool deal for some artwork. And if you want the same thing for Schmalky's artwork as well, which is this cover right here, boom, you can go ahead and own all this stuff, which is fantastic. So for $500, you can get you some really cool artwork. Really good stuff. Well, we actually had some early bird specials as well. And then let's see, the one I didn't see over there, which you could actually get just the loose figure deal. So if you want to save a bit of money, you can just get yourself the loose figure for $100, which is add-on only. So if you just want to buy a couple of books and pop that in there, you can easily go ahead and do that. I'm just going to click rewards just to see if there's any other add-ons. Because as you said, you can get remarks, signatures, and some other stuff as well for all of these. Oh, cool. It looks like you get the haunted box as well in here. Probably some other titles. You can get a custom remarks. Oh, these are cool. Look at the custom remarks. Look awesome.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
Just
a little. Yeah.
Always has a little bit of blood with them,
Yeah, you gotta have that. And yeah, you have some really cool pricing in here for some figures and
Jon
digital stuff.
Fantastic Kickstarter.
Yeah, you guys do some really cool things. I've loved all the Kickstarters that I've seen from you guys because what was it? Haunted Box, Infernoct, Avatar 6. You got this one on here. I know you had another one going on here, but you did. I know there was 2 Haunted Boxes, which were so good. So that to me is still one of my favorite boxes of all time.
No, it's I wrote a story in Haunted Box. It's I can speak from the creator side. I'm being very transparent with my experiences with publishers, and Jon has a very genuine excitement that I'm super stoked for. And I think it'll it's genuine. He is as big a fan. I've been making the joke that that Jon's a bigger fan of Deadhead than even I am as its creator. That's just something I really appreciate. So, thank you guys for having me. I think that's our hour.
Yeah. It's about an hour. Yeah. It looks like you picked up even more backers over here. So you're at 93 right now. So let's go. If you want, I can play the trailer before we get out of here. I just have to unplug my headphones for that.
For sure.
All right. Okay. So you're going to hear yourself for a second. So give me a minute. I'm going to unplug this. Listen. This is so not a pro stream, let me tell you.
I prefer that, but
it's all good. Listen, you're gonna hear yourself for a second. That's okay. We're gonna get this going anyways. But I think it's such a cool thing. So let me go like this. Let me go like that. Holy moly, that was loud. All right, let me go like this. Like this. There we go. All right, let's watch this. This is very cool. awesome.
I love that song too. So it's like
it's so good, so good. Oh, what's up, Kyle? How are you doing? Here, let me plug this back in.
Yeah, nice. I, yeah, no, I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for the first Deadhead, which, if anyone doesn't know that reference, which isn't connected. No shame to the Grateful Dead, but that wasn't in our mind. But it's how some Grateful Dead fans call each other. And I'm waiting for the first Deadhead to buy a copy of Deadhead. Which in my time I have noticed the correlation.
Totally needs to happen. They can place the figures as well because I know they have a bunch of the Grateful Dead figures too. Next to the Grateful Dead figures. But this has been so cool. I love everything about this. This is great.
I have learned that when Jon jokes about something, it's kind of something that's actually in the works already. But he did talk about a future Deadhead 420 special cover where there's some Deadheads, I guess. So that seemed fun. But yeah, no. Yes. Thanks again, Katie. The show's always a lot of fun.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm very much looking forward to when the sketch covers come out because, as you said, that scythe area is gonna be blank, so you guys can take that to people and get that somebody else drawn in there, which is fantastic. I love that. Oh, that's cool, super cool. Here, let me put this back on our faces real quick. There we go. Boom. There's our faces. That was fun. This looks really cool. You guys did such a great job, and dude, I've loved every single one of the titles that you guys come up with so far. I got back to all of them. Yeah, I got in for knockdown there. I just got that one in. It's cool. Yeah, I like this. I can't wait to see more what's going on with Deadhead because it looks a lot of fun. And I liked in the trailer how you kind of showed a little bit more of the other like killers in there. And I like that one. Kind of gave me some Dead by Daylight kind of vibes. Yes, that's some good stuff. Definitely very much like that.
Like inspiration here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have for sure considered what Deadhead's Day by Daylight kit would be. So
yeah. Oh, here, let me show it one more time. So it's not available on the campaign just yet, but eventually. But this here, let me see if I can make this bigger so we can see this. See how there's a holofoil in there? Jon said that this part here is where the sketch cover is going to be blank. So inside the scythe is going to be blank. So you get people can go and draw whatever killer or whoever you want in there. So it looks like they're fighting each other. I think that's awesome. That's pretty dope.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's really cool. Such a cool idea. I like that.
Yeah. Who all the world puts Deadhead against. So.
That would be fun to see, especially when you go to horror cons, because there's usually a whole bunch of guys that are in there. You could get them taking pictures of, like, let's say if you want Arts or if you want, like, Bruce Campbell in there. Like, that would be fun to see people do that. I would love seeing the sketch covers. And I don't know when those are going to be dropping, but hopefully because that's going to be a cool idea. I love that. And the figure looks great, too. The 5.5-inch figure looks amazing. All hand sculpted by a pro. The dude looks great. Very exciting.
We're moving fast. I definitely may say we're doing steady schedule. Our delivery date is September, and all figures good for us to hit that. It's
nice.
We're very excited for it. So.
Yeah, I think it looks great. I wish you much luck on this because I have a feeling, not even in an hour, I have a feeling you'll be at 100 backers because you went up like 4 or 5 since. We made this stream happen. So yeah, let's go. Let's get this out here. It's so exciting. Yeah.
Please, friends, tell everyone.
Yes, please share it all over the place. And before we get out of here, first of all, thank you for coming back on again. It was a fun time with you guys the last time you guys were here. If you see hi to Mina, let her know I said hi. And yeah, I love all you guys. And before we get out of here, are you have any other appearances? You're going to be at any cons or anything coming up?
Tentatively, not for the summer. I was thinking about sneaking over to Heroes Con, see some friends. It's one of those things where this year is the summer's a little hot, you know what I mean? It seems a little chaotic out there, and I'm kind of glad to just be working on a lot of stuff. It's just one of those years where it's in between releases, so I don't have much, it's good. No, nothing to sell is usually a good thing. And, I sold out my last show, so I'm waiting for all my newer stuff. But I can definitely say next year will be a big con year, and I for sure see myself being back on here. I can definitely put the
Yep.
end of the year. Can't say much more now, but I do have
Yeah.
one more Iron Age book that I'm sure you guys will be seeing of come the end of the year. So
Oh,
yeah.
definitely. Yeah. No, you guys got a bunch of cool titles coming up this year that I've seen so far, and I'm very excited for everything that you and
Good.
John got going on. It's gonna be an interesting year for Iron Age. So, yeah,
Yeah.
let's go. And
So
I
much.
don't know you, but I'm hungry, so we're gonna get out of here. I need a cold drink and some food, but we're gonna get out of here. Thanks to everybody that came in here. If you backed, thank you very much because we got some backers during the stream. So
And
very exciting, very cool. If you know people that are a fan of good toys, a toy collector, please share this around all over the place. There's some cool toys happening on this campaign, and we're gonna get out of here. Thanks again for hopping on here. Hopefully, John is enjoying his class, and let's go get some food. Yeah.
I'm going, guys.
Bye.